Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. My name is Lauren Mollica. I am a marriage and family therapist from the Chicagoland suburbs who specializes in trauma and supporting neurodiverse learners. And I've been in private practice since 2015. I wanted to make this video to help people who might have some concerns about staying HIPAA compliant, especially in this day and age where there's AI, there's, all these different platforms, there's opportunities with online therapeutic companies, and that's all well and good, but it could raise some concerns for some of us. So this video is probably more geared towards folks who haven't been in practice for very long and still have some anxiety about staying HIPAA compliant, because I know they drill that into our head in grad school. And then this video is also going to be helpful for people who, maybe saw a job opportunity with digital therapeutics and really want to explore that, but also want to be mindful of HIPAA compliance and how to do their own due diligence conducting online therapy. Now, I say this with a huge disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer. I am just a therapist who is in Illinois, who has been in private practice, and these are things that I've researched and have worked out for me. These tips may work for you, or you might find something different or something that's recommended to you from somebody else, perhaps within your licensing board. So that's my next point, is I would absolutely defer to the governing boards in your state for your specific licensure. So as I mentioned before, I'm a marriage and family therapist. Maybe you are an LCSW, maybe you are a licensed professional counselor. Definitely speak with your governing boards and check those to make sure that you are aligning with any specific criteria that they may specifically ask for in your state and based on your licensure. The second big tip that I would definitely give people is to invest in good liability insurance. So what's amazing is a lot of these plans do have opportunities where there is a set amount of time every year for you to speak with a lawyer if you do have questions and you're trying to better understand certain situations. And a lot of these companies will send you little newsletters and bits of information that you can use when it comes to HIPAA compliance. When it comes to being HIPAA compliant, there are certain pieces that are really essential. And I'm just going to name a few today, but I just really want to spend time on those because I think if you focus on these, then you will be set up for success. So the first thing is making sure that whatever platform that you're using, whatever company that you're working with, if you're working for yourself, when it comes to communicating with your clients, it's essential that that communication is encrypted. So I know we hear this word a lot, and a lot of us don't know exactly what that means. We don't really have a background in technology, and we're a little bit uncertain what that actually entails. I like to think of encryption by using this kind of metaphor. So when you think about encryption, just imagine you have this lockbox, right? And in the lockbox is a secret message for somebody else that nobody else can read. It's really important that nobody else reads it. And your job is to deliver it to that person. But you have keys in your pocket. You have multiple keys to the lockbox, and you didn't really make sure that they were safely in your pocket. So what ends up happening is along the way, other people could get keys to that lockbox to read the secret message. So hopefully using that metaphor helps you kind of wrap your head around it in the sense that you need to have messages and correspondence with clients encrypted so that way people aren't able to access their PHI, their personal information. So how do we do that? Well, a lot of times platforms that you might decide to join will have encrypted messaging systems built into the platform, or you are using an email system that has the ability to turn on encryption when you are emailing a client. Personally, I am most comfortable with platforms where it is messaging within the platform. That feels most comfy for me, but you might decide to do something different. Another thing to keep in mind is to be mindful of what platform you decide to use in terms of video-based therapeutic sessions. There's a bunch of different ones that you can use. There's different companies that might bundle in their own video software with progress notes, with all the bells and whistles. And some people may decide to kind of do more of an a la carte, if you will, and just pay separately for video hosting. What I'll say about this is when it comes to conducting therapy sessions over video, it's really essential that there are secure passwords. So making sure that maybe you set up two-step verification for yourself. So what that means, and this can be annoying sometimes. So what this means is not just having a great password. This also means that there is another step to be able to sign into that software. So usually what this will look like is it'll say, oh, we just want to verify it's you. We're going to text you a passcode, and it'll text it to your phone, and then you can input it and carry on with your session. So two-step verification is great for that. And I think it's good that we educate our clients on that too, and how that can be useful for their own safety. With some video platforms, they also give the opportunity to generate passcodes to sign into the video session itself. So that might be just an extra layer of protection when it comes to making sure that people aren't joining who really aren't supposed to be there. And finally, when it comes to progress notes, I've seen a lot of conversations circling around out there about AI, right? AI is this new thing. It's saving people tons of time. Is it trustworthy? Can we trust these sorts of things? Especially those of us who've been in practice for a long time and maybe super used to pen and paper notes or typing everything out ourselves and printing it out, and there's no copy even on our computers. This feels very different and can feel really scary. So what's essential is that when you are looking into AI tools that you can use, that you ensure that it is HIPAA compliant. So a personal platform that I really like to use in terms of AI that saves me a ton of time, but also is super HIPAA compliant, is Mentalyc. So Mentalyc is AI software, and what they do is they will, with your client's consent, of course, will use dictation AI to transcribe your session, and it generates the notes for you, which is like unheard of, right? Like that's crazy. That's so cool. So what was important to me when deciding to use their software, of course, was HIPAA compliance. Is this encrypted? Are we using two-step verification? What sorts of things are in place so that I can feel comfortable knowing that these recordings exist on a cloud somewhere? So they have done a beautiful job of making sure that everything remains HIPAA compliant. And I think as long as you are sticking to the tips that I shared when it comes to selecting a platform for notes, or selecting the right video hosting site, or ensuring that your communications are all staying encrypted, you should be good. You should be good to go. And as I mentioned before, if you are paying for liability insurance, you can reach out to the lawyer that is connected with your policy, and you can ask them questions too to see if there's anything that you're not thinking of that you may be missing, and they might have extra tips that I haven't even thought of. So definitely utilize all those tools. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope this was helpful in terms of helping you feel more comfortable when it comes to HIPAA compliance, especially online.